want to close the door a little bit? That'd be great. Thanks, I appreciate that. All right, well, this is Proletkult. The only rules are one poem, less than 4 minutes. First person up is Ken Dickman. You ready?
Yeah.
All right. Sorry?
Ashtray.
We've always winged it without one, so here you go.
Okay, how you all doing? Tonight I dedicate this poem to the memory of Frank Zappa, who I'm sure is a horrible loss for all of us. Took me by a shock at 2:30 anyway, you know. But anyway.
Okay.
So anyway, I wrote a poem about John Lennon for his anniversary some time ago, which I was going to read, and I decided I made some copies of it. It's back there. It's back there on the shelf back there, all the way in the back. I'm going to read another one in conjunction with it, a shorter one, right? But check it out. It's on the back there. Okay. This one kind of has to do with the same thing in a way, you know. Okay, it's called Poem of Peace. Dogs sing, birds bark, mayhem in the park, terror stalks, trees tall, they all wait, the golden spark. Sky this night can't be that bright. Is it him? This poem is a spiritual whim. As we shiver, inside skin stark, let's build an ark along the Jordan River, just for two, honey, me and you.
Yeah. Okay. Next up is John Ronchak. You ready? Thanks.
Don't get him mad.
Don't get him mad, y'all.
Alright, but I gotta plug this thing in.
Alright.
I gotta move this over and run this guy's whole setup.
Sorry. Where does she plug in from?
Hey.
Hey? Can you see that? Nice.
Used to be pretty loud. Because I'm not gonna.
I gotta redirect the board, so
Alright.
just gonna have to hold off on that. Sorry.
Alright. Ready this?
That's fine.
Can you make it a little louder? A lot louder? Well,
That's much worse.
actually a lot louder.
Huh?
A lot louder. That's good. That's good.
Anxiety is my most faithful friend because anxiety will never leave me. It's always there by my side. Bliss is flighty. You don't know when it's gonna come, and as soon as you realize it's there, it's gone.
Wallow Black? Sorry. Clap for the nice poet.
Good evening. The title of this poem is Manhole, like you kind of find in the street.
Okay. Each time leaving you, it seems, I experience the same sensation. My knees straining as I descend this rubber-like ladder, plunging me deep into this sudden darkness that seems to flow from within. There's the sound of rushing water, only a whisper at first, but then I can almost feel it's raking along as if passing through my veins, like some internal sore. The sky is reduced to the cat's blinking eye of a needle, so very distant, a fading echo of light streaming in from some previous life. But I can still make you out. In fact, you've become even clearer to me. You're leaning over the opening to this pit, peering down at me in silence, your face a wall of ivory granite. You turn away suddenly, and I hear the dragging of some great burden, your struggling sighs amplified through the soul-reflecting walls of this subterranean chamber. I try to climb to you, but the ladder allows only my descent. The wavering rungs crumble at my upward attempts. I want to help you. It's not me who is drowning, I fear. I want to help you. Finally, the blackness spires to a pinnacle of one tearing blue eye. The last tiny crescent of light converges. You've secured the lid. It seems, after all, that I have helped you. Oh, ouch.
Kathy Margaret Emerson.
Ooh, those lights are bright. Okay. Yeah.
It's a big city.
Yeah, this is, I'm not gonna read any of my stuff tonight because I don't feel like it, so I'm gonna read a poem. It's a short narrative by René Char from 1907, French poet. It's translated by Charles Gunzer. Okay, this mic.
Sorry.
Thanks.
What do you want it?
Yeah, thanks. Sorry.
You're okay, we can hear you. You don't
Yeah, just getting the mic. It's called Alberto Giacometti. Laundry spread out, clothing and house linens held by clothespins hung on a wash line. This is dedicated to my friend Ken. Its indifferent owner let it spend the night outside. A fine, colorless dew was displayed on the stones and grass. Despite the promise of heat, the field still didn't dare to chatter. Among the deserted farms, the beauty of the morning was total, for the farmers hadn't opened their doors. With large locks and big keys to wake up buckets and implements, the poultry yard complained. A couple of Giacometti, leaving the nearby path, appeared in the area, naked or not, slender and transparent like the windows of burned-out churches, graceful just as ruins, having suffered much and losing their former weight in blood, yet proud with determination in the manner of those who are engaged untremblingly under the irreducible light of the undergrowth and of disasters. Those passionately fond of oleander stopped before the farmer's bush and inhaled its fragrance for a long time. The laundry on the line was frightened. A stupid dog ran off without barking. The man touched the womb of the woman who tenderly thanked him with a gaze. But only the water of the deep well, under its little granite roof, rejoiced in that gesture, because it perceived its remote meaning. Inside the house, in the simple guest room, the great Giacometti was sleeping. That's it. Thanks.
George? Where the hell are you? Oh, me? Yeah, you. Our featured reader tonight is George Carmen, New Brunswick Psalm.
Thank you.
Any old time.
Thank you very much. So how y'all doing in Brunswick? Hello, let's hear it.
Stop.
First one I got here is called Deaden. You figure it out. I'm slipping again, disguiseless, hiding taxidermy behind stale beer and knee-deep friends. I'm happy, cowardly complacent, grin disaster squelches tides of throbbing guilt, tilt back, dripping noxious tears, to live or die. It's all a fictitious high why I rack this outward strength. Takes more juice to admit this piranha truth than it does to treat trigger finger, even less to Julianne the mind. I aim, shoot. Bad physics hold my low balls back. I scratch as an infant halfway around the world is torn to shreds, eyes plucked out, and skull fucked dead. The planet whirls its dervish jig, dizzy from disease. This night breathes crossbones, unstoppable. All right, I need about 10 seconds right now of your time. A great man died tonight. Frank Zappa, okay, he's one of the greatest composers, and I didn't know him very well, but he made me piss my pants plenty of times, and he deserves respect for that. So let's have 10 seconds of silence for Frank Zappa. Thank you very much. Thank you. This next poem is entitled Recycled, and it's about staring at a waterfall. Peering hungover flatly at this sobering waterfall, I cry for my numbness. Sore thumbs sticking blackened aura, the cloud shroud result of merciless motion releases certain ions responsible for this snow-pure hypnosis. So says science. I can feel relic rains reaching to mingle with the water in my molecules, misting my awareness, molesting me with rainbows. Maybe I just gotta piss. Pipe down.
Let's appreciate you.
Oh shit, I can't see a thing here, but this one is I don't know. It's about all the women that I've ever been with besides Lauren that hated me. It's called Welcome. You never grasped the colors needed to blend with the seamless truth of my soul overflowing. A private treasure. Just couldn't share it. Didn't have the sense enough to keep the corpses of your lies from floating up, novice chameleon. All you ever possessed were the scarecrow charm of a bumblefuck fear that made you spread your legs, the earth of your dreams excavated by shovel snakes disguised as sex. From deity to doormat in seconds flat. I'm getting a little loosened up here. All right. Thank you. Yes, that was a good idea. That's a good idea. All right. I don't know if you know this guy, okay, but this one goes out to, I'm not going to say it's about him, no, but it's going out to the guy at the bottom of the hill, that wretched, twisted old man at the bottom of the hill. That when you walk in there and try and change a 20, he goes, "Can't you read the fucking sign? No fucking $20 bills!" Okay. It's called Sullen. November screams shrapnel. One slowly wilting sack of atrophy spreads its empty history across volumes of regret and flickering TV twilight. A knock. One that reflex rapes the last drop of escape. My knock. Expecting warmth, I wait. Yeah, hold on! Rage creeps back on bitter swollen hinges. Greeted by 5 pink rolls of rabbit toilet tissue and gray. From damp shadows bursts forth the twisted shape of every Auschwitz martyr rolled complete. Smoldering death dangles loose from Whisker Jolly Roger. Wafting fog of feet and scotch slaps disgust awake. Oh, I'm sorry, wrong door. The slam never comes. Instead, chain gangs of awkward time dig. Trip on links. Eternal seconds sear down raw intentions. The eyes hurl ice. There's just no fire, man, not a fucking trace. Just blackless, bottomless, addicted to autopilot. The frost bites. Get the fuck away from my door, punk, or I'll call the cops, you commie faggot bastard! Translation. Kill me, please. I strike swift, I have compassion. Fuck you, you toothless corpse. Just cause you're gonna die soon, don't give me any fucking shit. Just get back in your pathetic little fucking shoebox and close the lid, you fucking loser. Last nail drives home. It's a place of crime and shapely coffins. I have to look away. Just crush its head already. I can't watch it squirm anymore. It's better this way. Abrupt. Instant. Thank you. This one was actually published. It's short. It was published in Chance magazine somewhere in Duluth, Minnesota. It's called...
Where is that?
Duluth, fucking Minnesota!
I'm moving now.
Go there. She's on her way. It's called Booked. It's very short. I didn't mean to break his hand, officer. Honest. I just grew tired of stray, snot-fingered children fucking up my game just 1,000 points from a free man. Listen, can you loosen these cuffs a bit? This one's called Vague, and it's about Thanksgiving. How many people had a very good Thanksgiving? Alright. Well, I had a good Thanksgiving, but this is what I think of Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving. I had to turn on flute music to trap this mood. Snagged. This poetry ejaculate is just a mixture of malignant moments, some broken branded manifesto. Asphalt fists have stripped into the scabs, let the trust pus out in pearls. To mock this bruise, sunshine dimmed to gray from dope, sad skin pricked and sagging still. I fuck for crack, I fuck for crack, I fuck for crack, I fuck for crack. I forget my manners. I won't be vague. I want to burst about this charade, strangle Christ's advice, choke it on a crust of miracle, while my past hires ghosts that poke with sticks and graven stones. I gave it my all. I did. I sweat secrets to remember old smiles. All I recall is that Denise Valdata used to rip out her hair by the roots in high school and suck off the grease to catch an eye. while I drowned in defeat 1,000 times inside, covered with thorns and beer can kisses. So carve the fucking turkey, based with bloodshed, slick with genocide, how insignificant my shit pants plight. Sorry, Geronimo, pass the stuffing. Oh, please. Thank you. All right. How many people have been down to the Jersey Shore recently? Oh, you like the Jersey Shore?
We're big friends.
You like it? Well, damn. The Jersey Shore has just undergone amputation. Just a little piece of fingernail now. I gaze out in clusters of cold light. Sigh. It wasn't meant to be like this. Crystal skulls extend as far as my eyes can absorb, while the ghosts of neglect infect my peripheral vision. Tide straining, panting, so polluted, it struggles to erase my footprints. On the boards, terror-peddling shadows slither from concrete, scalping my peace. I shouldn't have to pull out my blade on the beach, goddammit, slashing stars to prove I'm not for sale. Nah, just flush it, man, misplace it. The night grows muscles, and the Addams Family Robinson is waiting in the car. If they'll come, I know they will soon, bringing with them death's solution. I'm ready. Shiver. I've had many nights like this. Usually it's with like a full beer in one hand and Suzanne Summers squeezing her way to shapely her hips and thighs on the TV.
What about Catholic school?
Catholic school girls. No. This one's called Infanticide. If I'm drunk enough, it takes a mental effort, repertoire of drooling genitals coupled with hours of serious stroking to make me release the billions of wasted children into their flush handle funerals. Premeditated autoerotic homicide. I'm sorry, I just hate kids. There's no ozone layer anyway. This might sound a little weird, but there's been plenty of times I've been driving down the turnpike on the way to New York where you pass by those oil refineries. And I just always wanted to jump out of the car doing like 60 miles an hour, just like climb one of them and just sit there and like get cancer.
I've got nothing to do today.
Why not?
I'll get
You know?
cancer.
This one's called Oil Heats Best. Jotting down my stench at 65 miles an hour. I never got to climb one of those oil refinery tanks at dusk with booze, and my teeth full of bugs, astrally projecting with the fumes of liquid fossils. I love the slip of oil. It's tricky. It reminds me of all the bridge-burning bastards I naively begged to strip my bones of compassion. Sharks of Jersey pity. Dusk death mask corpses and the coroner's only got 2 hands, while I got a few hands to give. Bravo! I applaud their rigor mortis rites of passage, while the sun drags its swollen ass behind a skull-marked landscape to cop a little ice. Lights out, no stars, just sick. one movie that I've seen in the past 10 years that's really affected me. I actually cried at it. Lauren can be my witness. I cried in the movie theater. Okay, and it was called Falling Down. Anybody seen the movie Falling Down? Yeah. All right. Well, then you'll understand this poem. It's called Slappy Pappy. It doesn't matter. All the posturing turds that cement another loose brick of ego are dissolved by piss. It doesn't matter. I hope that when they dust for prints, they find the remote. The antidote is too late for my ears to absorb. It's just dry sandpaper words anyway, man. It's just fever. The shadows cast by low-watt refrigerator bulbs are sobering, web-like. You were letting out the cold. I never meant to smear your mind, really. It's just my patience snapped, you see. No, I guess you can. My nose is bleeding, and the drops dissect my smile. I'm sorry. I didn't slip. I wasn't pushed. I fell. All right, this one's about my friend Sunshine. It's called Sunshine. Are you here tonight?
Yes, sir.
Nope. Take my hand, Harlequin. I've got you. I won't let you go. Tonight, I watched you running scared from your own dirt-wig mind, frantically straining to keep the seal unbreached, to color within the lines like Lucille Ball on the Candy Conveyor Belt episode. I know. It's hard to say. Sounds like dripping sap, but I love you, man. I know it hurts. Lonely Caesar knives vivisecting well-worn ice. Counting up who's in your camp. A total of 2. Yourself and your shadow. Make it 3, friend. No need to speak, it's all there, in the way that you offered me the last sip of Canadian Club, and in the last screamers that reside behind nearly defeated eyes, distraught and disclosing every inch of your injured, bleeding child. Break ground. Confide. I breathe your fight. Whoa, hey! Escape, escape! Ah! All right. This one's called Pink Slip. And this one goes out to every poet that's ever sent out a poem. And you got your fucking pink slip, okay? Here we go. Yeah, let's hear it. There's plenty. Wait. Only 2? Everybody else here is published, I guess, right? Yeah, okay. It's called Pink Slip. Starving question marks cling to the tasty edge of my perspiration, evolving. We don't need your brand of slave no more, so hit the bricks, chump. It seems my fortune cookie was correct. Contentment is a cruel joke. Now, I'll have to slow cook cans of beans on the pilot light to stay alive, while I drink, write, break things, make the cops earn their wage, and wipe my ass with rejection slips. Passing time like kidney stones in bloom. Yeah. I was abducted by aliens when I was a child. It's true.
Why did they bring you back?
Well, I don't know. What do you...
It's the mothership.
Mothership's right here.
Oh yeah, when did you get on stage?
Alright, it's called Night Sun, motherfucker. My void is filled with angel wings, feathers, feathers, don't breathe. Cold, stainless light. Angry personal sun spies outside the window. Dream inside a dream, inside a dream, inside a dream. They show me things, ugly things, falling down disgrace. Was I bad? All they had to do was ask, not take. I would have bled secrets, oozed with open arms, bastards. Give me back my time, fill in the blanks that litter taunting, punching every hole I caulk with booze. Show me your bones, you spindly, skinny fuckers, your dirt. Point to your spines, trapped owls. No need to coax it, no need. I'll spill my own seed, thank you. send fractions of my soul worming through the stars as stalkers slide their filthy fear through my sleep. Reality rubbed raw, left with wounded question marks and strangled in denial. My shame is hanging out, dragged behind on silent spikes. Hold me, cradle my disease. They're here, always. All right, how much time do I got left there? Are you looking at it? Who's got the time?
A few minutes.
How many?
4 3/4.
All right, here we go. I might as well read the short story. All right, I got a short story, okay, and it's basically about when I was in the 3rd grade, and there was a nun that I didn't like.
Oh, yes.
It's very anti-religious. You might like it. It's called Kicking the Habit. You get it? Kicking the Habit. All right. Lying here, about to retaste lunch, I seem to recall kicking that hairy chin nun in her holy ass in the 3rd grade. I didn't rise in the line, so my knuckles bled. I put a worm in the fish tank, so I prayed all day. I fought a pervert priest, so the devil got dragged down. It was that one time with the accordion that lit my fuse for the very first anti-establishment explosion. I believe her name was Sister Barbara. She was always drunk. She smelled like bad piss. I think she used to sometimes smoke a cigar, and she was once a nurse before she married God. Anyway, for some reason she had this crazy idea that she could teach me to play the accordion in 6 weeks, whether I liked it or not. This is true. While the other sheep were through with their daily religious transfusion and went out to graze during recess, I was forced to sit in the coat room and practice playing this mammoth oppressive machine. It looked like a robot caterpillar that cried when you squeezed it, and the air that escaped from the 3 tiny air holes smelled like how blood smells when popped from a pimple. For an hour each day it drained my strength, mangled with its foreign cries. An hour a day it stole my youth with its folding alien spine. For 1 hour it owned me. But not today. Reluctantly, I hoisted the contraption in my arms. It almost seemed to faintly growl. The prison waltz began. Expand, contract, expand, contract. Sounds of murderous chaos filling the coat room. The accordions laughed, choosing notes that plucked the hairs of the neck to attention. Maddening, painful, blasphemous sounds. Conjuring demons coming from me. A, D, D sharp, E, B, F, C, B, 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 F, C, B, 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 A, D sharp, E, F sharp, A, G, E, E, C, A, G, E, E, C, A, G, E, C, A, G, E, cage, 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 cage! It had begun. After about a full hour of crying and squeezing, I felt something pop deep behind my eyes. The beast became aware. I held it differently, with more conviction, control, tighter. It knew. It began to buck, lash out, struggling to writhe free from my grip. My teeth grit. The accordion dug in, snorted, flailed, screamed its protest with ear-splitting polkas. Breaking the camel's back. At that point, I smashed the smelly beast against the wall and stomped up and down on its black and white fangs. It bellowed out in warped musical gasps of confusion, sounding a lot like a dying pachyderm. I fell asleep. So did Jesus. I was awakened swiftly from a dream about a skinless body. Excruciating pain now occupied the space where my head used to be. It seemed that Sister Satan had come back from the slop trough, only to find me curled up in a pile of coats and scarves, sound asleep amongst the scattered remains of her Oompa-playing torture device. At the sight of this slaughter, Barb saw red and yanked me up by my hair. Off the ground, I still have a scar. You little demon! You will fry in hell forever! That was God, you know! He gave it to me! And now you have ruined his holy accordion! Kicking and punching, I yelled. He can make another one! He's God! Sister threw me into the wall. God hates you, George Carmen. He hates you forever. You are the devil's son. God will never forgive you ever. Some girls started to weep. Well, I hate you back, you ugly jerk, and I hate God. Fuck God! Silence. Then, nothing! Absolutely nothing! No lightning bolts came crashing down from the clouds to strike me down. The earth didn't try to swallow me whole. No shadow forms crept from the corner of the room to drag me into the ground alive. Nothing. Sister Barbara screamed! Then, as if a dam had burst, 3 whole years of raw, repressed anger and fear flew from my mouth, flooding the room, drowning the class. I threw a book. The penguin ducked. It hit the cross. The cross fell. It broke. A syringe was inside. It leaked on the floor. As the junkie nun scrambled and bent to pick it up, I kicked her so hard in the ass that I lost my shoe. Fuck God! Fuck God! Fuck God! Fuck God! Fuck God! Fuck God! The next day, I was cast out of the kingdom of heaven to join the damned in public school. Thank you. I guess that's all the time I've got. I'm sorry.
George Carmen. We're going to take a short break, and 5 minutes, and then we're going to start the open.
So please listen up, if you would be so kind. First up, in our open, we have Beth Boris. Beth, are you here? Where would she go, she wonders? Someone get the door back there, please.
Kiss to her. The man she imagines to marry. He wears a fur coat held together by safety pins. an umbrella between his legs. He really likes accidents. Be careful, he says, I don't want you to burn. A character who is extremely virile, endowed with a prestige that can only belong to a boy, proud of his male prerogatives. He did not want to be part of this story. His disinterest, like a kiss to her. You can't analyze you're in love or you're not. Her clueless beau chooses a muse, a bride for the young man who has not followed her. What could he make of this model? His portrait of his young wife, the death of her narcissistic youth. He paid her off in food and smoke. He called it training. She called it abuse. Her favorite word was overlook. How to live in this horrid body. Every afternoon at 3 o'clock, he's on the beach with his friends. Love becomes nothing. Kiss to her goodbye. Running with grace, she finds herself a man who is constantly being replaced by other men.
Hope that helps. The buzz is quite annoying. Sam Friedman.
This is called AIDS Researchers on a Break. As the river Adige foams madly under the bridge to the Castle Vecchio, the murder holes of the old brick fort grin evil in the city lights, reminiscing of ancient carnage. Lovers and flirters now stroll where the archers and gunners once stood. The evening silence subverts ancient tumults, and spider webs glitter faint symmetries on the gates to bygone hatreds. While the books of the Verona Public Library stand like a regiment in review on the shelves within the bricks of a murder machine grown passé. In the city without, needles glitter as heroin seeks its veins, and the manufactories of wine, shoes, and chemicals echo the ancient hatreds, with those of a modern age, class against class, or those of anger diverted. Immigrant scapegoats sell sex in the streets of the evening, as local professionals glare fury at their low-price, no-condom competition, and the old fort chuckles anew at a distant scent of future employment.
You guys are doing a good job. Everyone's listening very nicely. That's very good. Next up, we have, I'm not sure I'm going to get this right, Jim Besh. Beach.
I lied. Yes.
My handwriting is atrocious. All right, Frank Zappa died tonight, and
Did he die tonight? Friday?
he died to me tonight. I found out today. Doesn't really know tonight. And also Albert Collins, the famous blues guitarist, recently departed. So while we all wait for the third one to go,
Don't do
there's
it.
not much else to do. Yeah, I'm next. So I had this poem, and this comes out of 2 really bad days, which I recently went through. It's fortunately productive, at least. So it's called 2 Doors. Two doors, too deep. The journey begins from what is left behind, and the eyes of the storm feed the steps, which hopefully never end. A whitewashed cauldron with a hinged hole beckons. The party. No cigarettes in this recipe, only beer and hair. Whose party is this? A celebration of 100 braying asses, here to sit, smile, parry and faint, damned with faint praise, or left to fish in a beer for what should have been said. Who are these people? My friends are upstairs and no one is here. Only these people with their mouths hanging open like empty hinged holes. Everyone comes together, unable to listen, but able to shout, and left without the desire for either. I sit and analyze the party, my wallflower petals drooping like vultures' wings. This door is not sideways and sneers, bruised. Your feet stand too heavy, but you can't float above the filth or ignore the sickness. The walls are stained a sickly nicotine jaundice. Larry puffs in anxious pleasure as he settles his bulk. His cigarettes are dear to him. There aren't many more coffin nails left. To him, he changes his daughter on the table as the mother is silenced bitterly for more important matters. Solace is found next to the crib in a fresh carton. Loneliness would be sublime. The sewer filth backed up and exploded through the shower drain, and no one else was told for days. It didn't matter. Only meant other people saw it too.
No, you guys are doing good tonight, but at the risk of repeating myself, someone, oh, never mind. What the fuck am I talking about? I don't even know. Oh, Don Mattingly. No, Dan.
What's your last name, like?
Maltby.
Maltby, Dan!
Yes.
Yes! All right, Dan.
I would like to take this chance to invite you to a reading at the Bolodrome every Sunday.
It's totally cool.
Yeah, it's a really cool seeing it.
And I also take off my clothes.
She takes her clothes off. It's really cool.
Thank you very much. Where's the price of admission?
It's free, and you get a free drink.
Thank you very
if you
much.
go up and read. So. And you get to see like naked people.
I'll show you my battleship.
The bells of Littledom. The Mongoloid boys stood at the doors of Valhalla. This is supposed to be one of the biggest fish in all of Littledom. Let's act like our brothers in Ursa Minor and tear off our tongues and paint ourselves green. Dance the fool's ballroom masquerade. What the fuck do they know in Ursa Minor anyway? Why, Littledom is fine for me. I kind of like it here, said the scared transvestite, shaking his penis nervously like a pocket watch. Yeah, me too, said the petrified Enos Scott of Rockdom. Well, I'd rather be a big rat and a chopped off sausage than a walrus doing the waltz and a puke saute.
You're not talking about New Brunswick, are you? Bonnie Joy, yes. Listen up.
Joy, yes.
Little light shining, little light guide them to me. My face is all lit up, my face is all lit up. If they find me raising some friendly voices, just talking about stupid things. I can't be left to my imagination. Let me be weak, let me sleep and dream of sheep, and their breath is warm, and they smell like sleep, and they say they take me home like poppies, heavy with seed. They take me deeper and deeper. Are you with me? Are you with me? Are you with me? I want you to be with me. I want you to be with me. Are you with me? Are you with me? I want you to be with me. I want you to be with me. Are you with me? Are you with me? I want you to be with me. I want you to be with me. Are you with me? Are you with me? I want you to be with me. I want you to be with me. Look at me. I know how to make you. Look at me. I've spent years trying to get a schizophrenic's attention. Look at me. I want to take on your personality like a dog. Look at me. Someday I'll be gone. Look at me. Tell me how to make you. Look at me. I have a Zen connection with Isadora. Look at me. My scarf got sucked up by my car fan, but I didn't choke. Look at me. I saved the pieces and wore them on my head as a turban and thought, look at me, about a young girl's fascination with skeleton keys and rosemaries. Look at me, grandmother's preference of naming her cats the names used by modern dancers. Look at me, Merce Cunningham, Twyla Tharp, Mark Morris, Simone Forte, and Carmen, respectively. Look at me, the exception, a cat named Bacchus. Look at me, nothing is sacred.
Excellent. Cool stuff.
Tom's got exams.
O.B. Rob, please.
Robbie!
Somebody forget they drink?
Yeah.
Probably. Okay, that's good. I said point.
Recycling at work, yes.
Alright. This poem's about this bitch I wanted to fuck who wouldn't give me the pussy.
Yeah.
I saw you standing in the distance, so then I had a thought, so I stopped and listened. Run, run, as fast as you can. You are my woman, and I'm your man. I come to you with my wings wide open. Fulfill my dream as I've been hoping. Take me to see the moon and the stars. I wanna fly, so fuck the cars. I climbed every mountain and almost drowned in Hudson Bay, only to find out I was going the wrong way. I come to you, please guide me straight. The time is near, we mustn't be late. Yeah. Off the record. I'm halfway there to a brief conclusion. This is reality and not an illusion. So take concern about what is said, for this is like food, so sit and get fed. I found a place that is much warmer. It's in your heart, in a small corner. I think I'm right, I think I know. Is this not what you told me so? If this dream turns out to be fake, all of my feelings will turn to hate. Not at you, but at life in general, for trying to recycle me like some kind of mineral. Life is too short, is what I'm told, so why should I bother to want to grow old? Fulfill my dream to exclude the blue. What happens next? I come to you. In conclusion, this is like the adjective part. This is what describes the noun. The tournament of your love still showers in my sun. Although many moons come hazing in the true light, I choose to travel afar. A free meal today will be the breast of a black stallion roasted in me cow dung. The tournament of your love still showers in my sun. Although many moons come hazing in the true light, I choose to travel afar. A free meal today will be the breast of a black stein roasted in me cow dung. I will wave my arms in many gestures for the plea of freedom. Granted, we are to be left behind. I'll step up front to keep in mind that when there's hope, the meek shall find a robin redbreast with a dart in his right neck. Entrapped by the coveting of your snatch, that means pussy whoop, our 6 is but a 9. At last, molasses has awakened. Molasses, a breeding for germs on ground. Your service smile is but a ride on a school bus to Centennial High School in the late fall, 20-something odd miles away, packed 8 deep with a fat old lady of a bus driver with heavy cheeks. Will I choose to be unique? Jimi Hendrix, as bold as love, was my forever guided theme song during the ride. A promotion of new feelings. This year, my antlers, covered with velvet, as precious as rhinestones, make a complete rack of 69 points. Is it that behind the mole you hide the truth? You can drain my soul, but I'll pierce your heart in a minute. Untly standing tall as he sits beside his feet, he can't go anywhere. My depths of perception shall remain anonymous as long as you shower my sun. The tournament of your love cannot be won. But perhaps too many persons are listening. Take one out, show your right, slow a hoist, and the teams are even again. You know what I mean? A new day is dawning as I awake on board the Black Star Liner, headed to Crimshaw, upfront and foot, clinical standby on board the Black Star Liner. My twisted tongue may confuse you, but you know what I mean? I just prevailed at 69 to show you right. Alright.
Did I say cool stuff earlier?
Nope.
All right, Nigel, Jackson, and Co.
Yes.
Yes.
Revolutionary greetings, brothers and sisters. My name is Nigel and that's Latif. We're former Rutgers alumni, or whatever you want to call it. I like to say my brother in the side who just went on. Revolutionary greetings, my brother. Hotep. We're going to do a little piece, and it's called If, Eyes, and Yous. If you could see their faces, all dressed for success, faces of all sizes, shapes, and colors, decoded looks, mechanical minds that dine on corporate America. If you could see their desperation, the silent scream of the computer screen, all lined up at the Mac machine. And if you could feel the emptiness in their souls and the ringing of the boss's voice in your mind, you're fired, you're fired, you're fired! And if you could see their faces when standing on the subway platform, watching the trains as they speed by, carrying the loads of office equipment to their storage spaces in the burbs. Computer-generated screens, frame after frame, like windows to a train, all bending to the motion. Can you see their neckties, shackles around their necks, symbols of the golden arches and bald eagles that decorate their apparel? Incentives for being good soldiers. This plastic man in this plastic land, you Fifth Avenue mannequin, staring at your innermost you, and you call yourself civil. And now that you've seen the faces, does any resemble you?
Grunwald, front and center.
The men in her life are like Chinese water torture. Drip after drip after drip. Though there are no chains or ropes to slip, she won't stop till she proves she's good to the last drop of blood from the psychic scars she fingers in those lower end bars, as if the only affection she can understand comes from the crack of an emotional back of the hand. The men in her life are parasites who, like two-legged ticks, have grown fat and content from the time that they've spent sliding between her thighs, never once caring how they deceive her, how she believes that it's love that they're sharing. 'Cause she wants to wear her heart on their sleeves and bear it like her only badge of self-merit are the men in her life. The men in her life. Woo!
That's good. I noticed we have a kind of a love vibe going tonight.
Nice.
Dan Rodriguez. Give a listen.
Right.
Hi, everybody.
One call, honey.
Gotcha. This one's called Edsel Edna. Smoke laws languidly from licorice lips, lingering like a nosy neighbor nursing a cup of tea. Clumps of cake compact flake over wrinkled ridges like lichen. Where she a tree out obsessively pick and peel, scrape savagely, absent-mindedly at scabs and wafers of dried skin that fall like layers of pastry into a hastily cupped hand, or fall like dandruff onto a black velvet collar and leave spots wet and pink, sticky and stinging. She put out her cigarette at Carlton 100, bent and mashed like an exhaust pipe in a car wreck. Fluorescent red lipstick left in the filter like the mark of a bitter birthday cake rose on white frosting. Carlton nasty brand, smell and taste like a New Jersey Transit train squeaking to a stop. If I were insane with uneven eyebrows and the smell of urine in my hair, I could take that cigarette butt and chew and suck, mash it up like a Tootsie Pop stick, gargle and spit gray cosmetic train juices, ring spitballs between my fingers and throw them at old women, letting them get stuck in their lavender cauliflower steel wool hairdos like dandruff. Maybe she'll growl like Betty Davis, chug like a steam train through the lobby, smile at me seductively and say, "Fasten your seatbelt, it's gonna be a bumpy night." And I'll smile and chuckle back like some used car salesman showing off his gold caps and muttering in his mind. If she were a car, she'd want you to kick her tires to let you know she could still rock and roll all night long. But instead, she'll sit in somebody's driveway on black greasy wood blocks until the next door neighbor, like the next door neighbor, noticing your curtains, until one day she just disappears.
Yeah. Yes.
All right, that kind of turned my stomach, but I liked it anyway. Al Valari, please up.
Yes.
No, I said I wasn't going to. He said he wasn't going to, and he did anyway, but we love it.
Robin asked me,
that was different. It's always dark up here, so I have to put on my magnifying glasses. I got a couple of short ones about the blues.
This is called Mean Old World. Almost before I could remember waking up, I'm squinting at a workday morning sun, already hard at work. The fog slowly lifting in my brain, and me still riding those frenetic moments of last night's blues that followed me home till I lost my mind in thankful sleep, cocooned in the soft darkness, before waking to strange piping through my stereo of blues all around my bed, blues all in my head. Stormy Monday morning after resignation dissipates my well-earned fatigue. Before I know it, I'm saying good morning to the big boss man. While strains of every day I have the blues haunt my sleep-starved brain, I'll put on my smile like a uniform, while inside my sky is crying. I want to shout out loud, this is a mean old world.
Yes, it is.
This is called The Music Is. The music is the message, a polytonal psychodrama, the world on hold. No news today, the music is the message. Lose yourself in deep, lilting murmurs, swilling neon-colored potions, and rap communication fusing with the blues, trading phrases on air guitar, speak rhythmic tones with the band and hemi-demi semi-quavers. The message is, the music is the message.
All right, so I looked to the bottom of my list, right, and there's no names left, but it's not over anyway. So
That lady didn't sing?
I didn't sing
the fat
yet,
lady has not sung yet,
but I'll be happy
and
to sing later.
we have a couple of guest appearances tonight, and you'll all be glad to hear that, I'm sure. First up, we're going to have John Ritchie read his newest book.
Nice.
Am I correct?
Nice.
The man is practically glowing, and that's scary, like a dark sun.
Wait a minute, let's not beer up there.
Oh, no, not the beer, baby.
John's some little creepy eyes. That might
That
be
way
right.
from John. We're shutting him off after this one.
There's this ongoing story I'm writing called The Fuck Factory, and there's parts of it that are still being written, and this is one of them. It's only 2 pages. It's just a work in progress. It's the beginning, and I still have to fix it up a little bit, as far as I'm concerned. But I just kind of wanted to read because a friend of mine was featured tonight. I don't know. It's good.
Not good here, John? What's up?
Hey,
You can't have this. Animosity?
Microphone animosity.
Oh, I hate that shit.
Okay. Thanks, Tom. It's called Trespass. As a child, I did not want to know about sex. Perhaps I knew where it would take me once it started. But sex was rearing everywhere. Pictures littered by secret clearing in the bushes of Johnson Park. Teenagers hanging out and learning to smoke cigarettes claimed the turf theirs and chased me away with threats of hanging me upside down on my toes if I ever returned. I kept sneaking back, quietly hiding in the brush to catch a glimpse. I was growing. I wanted one of those pretty girls in a short, tight skirt and fishnets, popping gum in between sucking the breath out of her boyfriend with kisses that led to groping, petting, and moaning to catch me. Tie me up. Play with me. Make me your mascot. After all, I thought of myself that way. Always hanging out at the park bleachers, they got to know me, called me Dynamite. One day, when crouched in the bushes, a big oily rat scurried across my feet. I didn't move. I did gasp. Then she did, and his voice rose from a whisper to a roar. Dynamite? And I vamoosed like a steer on steroids, only to be rustled by a bunch of teenage boys who dragged my snarling scruff home to my parents, stating that they had it up to here with me. I had become their pest. My parents agreed. I was to stay away. As I grew up, I never became the greaser type those sweet tards flash their lashes for. I became a strange, silent brooder. It was a facade which kept people away. No one would break my heart. After all, love had something to do with sex. All I wanted to do was watch. Well, I did have a little footsies thing happen with Marla in the cafeteria, but at 3 she was carted away to the girls' reformatory on the other side of town. It was safe, kinda. The first time I hitched there, I got picked up by a pervert who at a traffic light searched for something in the glove compartment, his elbows squirming in my crotch. Then he gave me a strange look of desire I had never seen in a man before. Frightened as I was, I directed him to drive me to the girls' reformatory. I peered over the stone wall through the trees to the mansion of the state converted to Girls' Town. I wondered which room Marla slept in. The next day, Marla and I sat in a cafeteria, and I told her what I had done. She was quiet, but her smile was pleasing, her contemplation obvious. When can you come back? That night, I had followed her instructions, walked to the corner of Elm and Norwood, climbed over the wall, and at 9:30 I was perched in the oak tree left of the lamppost. A light came on, second floor, the shade came up. It was a bare room, just a dresser, twin bed and music, Steppenwolf, from a tape deck I couldn't see. Then Marla, her bare leg wrapped around the white curtain. She slithered up and down the curtain. Arms in the air, she twirled in her white corset and stood in front of the window, hands on hips, eyes burning. I was emitting musk, feeling faint. My legs were grabbed and I fell out of the tree, hitting the grass with a thud. Before I could catch my breath, two girls pounced, one covering my mouth with her hand. Shh, you're trespassing.
See, you guys doubted me, but I told you there was a kind of a love theme going on here tonight. I think we might have two more readers, okay? But let me give it a shot. First, Dave Roscoe, so why didn't you read tonight? And maybe you want to.
He left.
Oh, he left. Well, fuck him then. See, that's the thanks I get for my troubles. Well, but you don't care, right? So,
What's up?
who could blame you? Last up, we're gonna, unless anybody else would like to read, then let us know, and we'll be glad to have you on board, because the night is young. Is Rob Newman. Give her a hand, give her a listen. And she might just take her clothes off.
It's been known to happen.
It's happened, I've heard.
Yeah. You should all be so lucky.
It's been done.
It's been done. I'm over it now.
Karen Finley did that one, right?
You over it too?
Give us your internal login.
I'm sorry, my spleen is busy. Before I read, Chapter 1 in New Brunswick is having New Tribal Grace on Thursday, December 9th at 9 o'clock. If you haven't seen them, they totally will. You'll really like it. And on December 30th, the last Thursday of every month, Bonnie Joy is doing readings, and this month we have Christopher Gonzalez from the Wetlands.
Chapter 1 in Highland Park.
Chapter 1 Highland Park. So y'all be buying a lot of books. This doesn't have a title, it's a first draft. Salt and smoke, walls bleached white in the moonlight. I wish I could have taken the planes of your cheekbones for granted. I wish the blackened floor remembered woodenness, recalled how carpentry joined you to this ruin. Salt and smoke and the charred walls crumble under my fingers, open to the sky like those cysts you despise, the ones I called constellations. On your chest, the stars under your skin, the sweat, the house consumed, the grit, the ashes in the air. For these reasons, I lick my palms. Any rebuttals? Then go home.